Hi, welcome to my video. Now, if you haven't met me before, I am Fran. I am very much into Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That much so that it's probably more of a personality trait at this point. Like, in Inside Out, the personality island, Buffy would be one of mine. Just before I start getting into all the episodes and starting to rate them, I have typed out a few categories. So, we've got Best Thing Ever, Great Teller, Don't Threaten Me with a Good Time, Nah, but okay, Skip. Any true Buffy fan knows the importance of skip episode, I feel. So there could be a handful of things in that category. And then Worst End Riley is the last category because, Anyway, so we'll go into the first episode. Welcome to the Hellmouth. So for all you out there that I say who don't know, you all probably watching this, I'm watching Buffy. So I think this is a very good. I think it's a solid opener. I think it's a good. Yeah, it's good. I think it should definitely probably sit there. The Harvest is like a part 2 to the Welcome to the Hellmouth. So I think that gets better. I think I'll put that one there. Yeah. Which now, do you know what? When I was younger, this probably was an episode that I'd skip probably a little bit. Probably was like a skip, but depending on my mood, like, do I want to get straight into the story, or can I have a little guilty pleasure episode? I think I'll put that in Don't Threaten Me with a Good Time, because I think that there's a lot to that episode, like there's a lot to that episode that'll give a good bit of lore to the later seasons. So I think it's a Don't Threaten Me with a Good Time. It adds to the world. There's effects later on down the line. Teacher's Pet. For now, I'm gonna put it in meh, but okay. I feel like this is the this is where it's at. But like for now. Next episode. Never kill a guy on the first date. Wise advice. Do I think that's better or worse than Teacher's Pet? I don't think it's quite Witch. Like I said, Witch has a bit of building to the world, but I don't think. I'm trying to think. So, like, there's the dream sequence in Teacher's Pet, which is quite amusing. Owen's pretty meh. He's like Riley 2.0. I'll leave him like that for now. I think. Ooh, move that out of the way. So yeah, I think it's probably a slightly worse than Teacher's Pet, but only slightly. So next episode is The Pack. You know what? The fact there's like a weird, like, Lost Boys-esque montagey sequence where they're slow walking with a bit of like rock music. And I feel like the reference comes up a little bit down the line that it was a hyena. So we're gonna put it just behind the Witch. Like, the Witch is still better out of the two of them. Or Witch, sorry. Ooh, now we've got probably one of the more important episodes of season 1, Angel. So I think it's a good episode, but I think I'd put it behind the openers. I, Robot You, Jane. I'm trying. The Monster of the Week ones are a bit. Not. I probably would have skipped it back in the day. I'm not gonna lie, and I feel like I would have skipped that one too. I don't know why Teacher's Pet would have stayed that like high up. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put them back down there. There might be a little bit of shuffle around as as it goes on. Right. So next episode we have the Puppet Show. And you know what? I feel like, again, I've watched this series like near enough all my life. There had been a lot that I would have probably skipped early on, but as I get older, I have like a slightly appreciation for the show. Plus, I don't watch it like. I don't rewatch it anymore like every single year. So by the time I do get to rewatch, I go the long haul. I do try and watch most episodes until I get to Go Fish. So I am gonna put the Puppet Show above Teacher's Pet. I think the Dummy is creeping. I know these are all a bit like X-Files, Monster of the Week kind of vibe. Like, these 5 definitely once upon a time would have been in the skip. Nightmares. that I think will go in between Witch and the Pack. I think it's because it was kind of getting closer, so I never used to really skip it as much because it were building up to the end of the season. Plus, at this rate, I've watched 3 episodes, so gotta give it a try somewhere. Out of sight, out of mind. You know what? I actually think Back in the Day was a skip, but I think I'd put there. I actually, as I get older, again appreciate more, I guess, the themes in the show, the writing of it all, to be a better person. Oh, now, do I put Prophecy Girl in Best Thing Ever or Good Teller? It depends, like, because story-wise, the episode is great. I think it's really where it finds its footing with the show. But then am I put in top tier for the go-to episodes that everyone will want to put in? Like the main ones when you think the Buffy show, or the ones that like I couldn't live without. Like if you had to get me to pick 5 top episodes, what would I put in there? I have to really kind of think what's gonna hit that bar. Yeah, so I'm gonna put it there. So it'll be out of season 1, Prophecy Girl, The Harvest, Welcome to the Hellmouth, Angel, Witch, Out of Mind, Out of Sight, Nightmares, The Pack, The Puppet Show, Teacher's Pet, I, Robot Eugene, Never Kill a Guy on the First Date. So that would be my season 1 tier list. And we're gonna go into season 2. And we're gonna start things off with When She Was Bad. So, where do I want to put this? Where have I set the bar? See, already season 2 has a bit of a better theme, so I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I'd put it there. It's already, like, thinking back when I used to watch it, like, younger, when I was a lot younger, when I was a teenager, I would probably, wouldn't have skipped that one. Okay, so the next one, Some Assembly Required. I'm not gonna lie. I might have skipped this one, but mainly because of what comes next. Some Assembly Required, I think it's a good... It's a... I'm trying to think. Where do I place it? Essentially there, because it's like they introduce characters, but then characters have like absolutely nowhere else down the line. So I'm going to put it, and I think that probably suits well for both these episodes, as both new characters introduced, new characters absolutely go nowhere. So I'm going to put them both there. So the next one is School Hard. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I am kind of tempted because, yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'm sorry. Like, there will be better episodes than it, but it is one of the best things ever. Like, as soon as his character comes into it, changes the game completely. Changes the game. Alright, next one. Inca Mummy Girl. So, we had such a high, and now, yeah. Yeah, I'd probably put him more like, nah, but okay. It's alright. Probably was a skip. Reptile Boy. I feel like that was a skip, to be fair. I'm sorry. I knew my I knew my thing would change halfway through. So, and then I feel like that would maybe there. Yeah, Reptile Boy, and then, sorry, that's why so, Reptile Boy, ooh, it's better than the Pack. So would that go there? There. Yeah, it's probably going there. Again, it's season 2. It just jumps up in, like, jumps up. So, yeah, so again, now I knew that my mind would change a little bit on my skip episodes. I feel like the skip category is a very fundamental need for Buffy, and I do think so far I agree with it's 3 season 1 episodes, and so far 1 from season 2. Halloween. Now, this is the first one I believe that introduced... No, it's not the first one that introduces Oz. Oh, well. No, I'm just kidding. As much as I love Oz, I think he needs... That episode alone, I think just is a... Oh, is it a skip because of that? Oh, it might save it. It might save it. It'll be right here. Like, it's on the borderline skip. But because Oz is in it, like, I wouldn't have skipped it because I'd want to see the introduction. Small introduction to his character. Now... Halloween. Yeah, sorry, that does go there. That, yes, I agree with that. Lie to me. Okay, so. I would have probably skipped this one again back in the day. But episode guides, Buffy episode guides, when the Lie to Me episode came out, it was probably one of the most weirdly fundamental videos to help educate my outlook on life more. I think that channel's great. I have followed it for years. I think since the witch episode when that was released. I have been a very big fan of that channel, and the thoughts that guy has on existentialism and the themes that are introduced into this episode, I actually, not gonna lie, probably just didn't really fully understand what I was watching back in the day. And it's not the greatest episode in the world. I understand more what they were trying to accomplish. So after all that, it's probably still gonna go in Don't Fret Me in Good Time. No, it's better than that. It's better than. Oh no, okay. Do you know what? No, it will go in Great Teller. I'm gonna put it right after Angel. So it's like borderline Don't Threaten Me with a Good Time, but it is Good Teller. Good, slightly Great Teller, but Good Teller. Dark Age skip. I even after a rewatch recently, I can't. I just the episode just it's. I get the introductions with stuff with Giles's backstory, but I just can't cope with it. It's. I would much rather watch these than that. I think it just goes quite dark. Here he is. Look at him. Anyway, What's My Line Part 1? Do you know what? I think it's not like the great. Oh, it's gonna go that way though. What's My Line Part 2? I think the second part is like the first part sets the scene. Part 2 is great. I'm trying to just make sure. I need to always evaluate if I put it right in the position. I am technically saying Lie to Me is better than them. I think I'm okay with that. Ted. I'm not. That would have been a skip. That was quite a heavy skip back in the day. But I am gonna put it. I think. Nah, but okay. This isn't essentially like a bad tier. It's just like it's watchable. It's a good episode. It's watchable. It moves. It doesn't really move things along. It's one off. Right. Bad Eggs. Do you know what? Do you know what? Okay, so Bad Eggs. I would have definitely skipped this back in the day, but I think after watching Attack of the Body Snatchers, I do understand what they were trying to do more. I still think it just missed the mark a little. So I think it's. I'd put it there, like it's trying. Maybe there. I will work it out one day. Surprise! Well, this episode. So this so far is the one that's kind of going into the top 3 of these. Yeah, I think and obviously Innocence, Great Teller. There's no possible. I just that words came to me. Yeah, so Innocence. I think that was a. I don't know what my point is. What am I trying to say? That's just one of the best things ever. I really enjoyed the episode. And as I get older, I'm not as much of a Buffy and Angel like shipper, but I do appreciate, again, for her story and character development, this entire narrative. It's a good season 2 episode. It's great. Phases. Now. Phases. I'm gonna put it because. Do you know what? I'll put it that there because the misdirect they do with Oz, I think, is really quite good. I think if I'd remembered the first time we were watching it, which I don't really at this point because it's just always been there. It's definitely a good little misdirect. It's a really smart episode and some of the stuff they introduced. I think the werewolf aspect of it probably didn't hit too great, but I think it's a good time. Yeah, I think it's a good time. Bewitched, bothered, and bewildered. So I'm gonna put in meh and okay. Like it's quite amusing, but it's alright. Great teller. Yeah, that's just passion. It's, if not maybe good. It's hard to put the best thing ever, which is like the first like somewhat a character death to put in the best thing ever, but it's just it's kind of like one of those episodes that make the season really hit home to like the level of what could happen, I think. So I'm gonna put that there. Okay, so this episode, Killed by Death. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this episode as a child terrified me. It's probably the episode I've watched the least in the entire Buffy run because I would have always skipped. I think I've seen it probably about 3 times. And I did a rewatch with my boyfriend last year, and I'm not gonna lie, having to watch it again kind of just really outlined why I skipped it. And I might have to put it, like, I get that there'll be a lot of people that will enjoy it for the horror aspect, and it was very, very scary for me. So I'm going to put it worse than Riley. I'm sure there'll be more episodes that will join that at some point, but it's a worse than Riley for me. That, yeah. So, the next one, I Only Have Eyes for You. This really depends on my mood, I'm not going to lie. I do kind of like the scene at the end with Buffy and Angel. I like that, so I like how the ghosts kind of led up to that. I do get all that, but I think it's whether I can really be bothered to focus on it that much. It's a good episode, but I think it's probably a meh, but okay. Go Fish is in Skip. Again, I've probably only watched that about 5 times, but it's mainly because of the quality of it. I think the monsters are bizarre. Like, I get it, the Black Lagoon, Blue Lagoon? I don't know what monster I'm on about. That monster. I do get that, but I feel like as well, Go Fish, and I can see what's coming up next, which is becoming part 1 and part 2. How did that come before? I think they were really trying to find their footing with Monsters of the Week. I'm not gonna lie. So, right, the next episode I will be talking about is Becoming Part 1. It's gonna be really hard not to put finales like all in the best tier, like the best thing ever. But I'm going to put that one there because I think it's good, but I do think the payoffs always come in the part 2, so it's hard to kind of judge them separately. So if I'm judging them as 2 separate halves, I'm going to put that in the great telly. And then this one, Becoming Part 2. I'm going to put it there because I think so far, Becoming Part 2 would be like, I think is like the true like finale for season 1 and 2. I feel like season 1, Prophecy Girl, was more like, it could have been in these days, the mid-season finale. Like, oh, she did die. I don't know. I don't know what I'm on about. But I do think, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to put for now. Who knows? Season 3, by the time I film season 3, it could be all crazy and I could be all over the place again. So just to recap where we're at, I've got Becoming Part 2, School Hard, Innocence, then Becoming Part 1, Passion, Surprise, Prophecy Girl, The Harvest, Welcome to the Hellmouth, Angel, Lie to Me, What's My Line Part 2, What's My Line Part 1, Halloween, When She Was Bad, Witch, Some Assembly Required, Reptile Boy, Out of Mind, Out of Sight, Nightmares, Phasers, I Only Have Eyes for You, Bewitched, Bothered and Bewildered, Ted, Bad Eggs, The Pack, The Puppet Show, Inca Mummy Girl, I, Robot, You, Jane, Never Kill a Guy on the First Date, Teacher's Pet, The Dark Age, Go Fish, and Killed by Death. So we have the first one that's in the Worse Than Riley. But yeah, that is my season 1 and 2 roundup of where I would put each episode. Like I said, who knows, it might change in season 3. As you can see, there's a lot of episodes to go through and talk about, and I do have a lot of opinions. I do like the show, it's great. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, like or leave a comment, all of the above, or none of the above. Everything is much appreciated. Oh, worst outros ever. Anyway, see you soon. I will blah 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 blah.